Hi, Lori here on Gab and Guest again. Hi, everybody, and thanks for saying I could be here again. That's cool.
I said you could be here again.
Oh, shit. Well, let me get this right.
Clear that up.
That's cleared. Okay. Last night we went and saw the movie. The fourth kind?
The fourth kind.
The fourth kind.
The fourth
We're
kind.
trying to figure out which kind it was,
The fourth.
personally. The fourth one. That is explained in the movie, just so you know.
Yeah.
So we won't explain that.
I'll explain just briefly the fourth kind. What that means is
Sure.
Everyone knows what the third kind, close encounter of the third kind means interacting with an alien,
Yes.
having contact with an alien.
Mm-hmm.
So the fourth kind means abduction.
Ooh.
So what this movie is about is supposedly based on a true story. Supposedly, we'll get into that. About 10 years ago in Nome, Alaska, there's a psychologist whose patients seem to be sharing similar strange experiences, trouble
Sleep
at night.
disruptions.
Sleep disruption. That's why we're in the bedroom
Yes.
right now, by the way, for no other reason. So severe sleep disruptions, hallucinations, weird imagery, something disturbing under the
And
surface.
it's continually the same thing.
And each of the patients shares this.
Every night.
And it's a continual thing. So the psychologist delves in deeper through hypnotizing them and discovers things come to the surface that seem to indicate alien abduction.
And her husband had died
Yeah.
doing this research, which is
Yeah,
why she's carrying it on.
Exactly, that's a good point. So this research means a lot to her on a personal level because
Yes.
she did it with her husband, and there's also some indications that she and or her husband have also had these sort of strange phenomena. So that's the plot of the story. As I said, it's also supposedly based on a true story. So the other thing going on in this movie is what I would call the style of the movie or the approach.
The approach, yeah.
Which is that we're seeing actors play these scenes, but we also see supposed real footage.
Clips of.
Yeah, from video footage.
And they split screen it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So we
split
can
screen.
see the old and the new together.
Or the supposed real, and then the
Supposed,
reenactment.
that's a good word, yeah.
And also there's scenes of the director, the actual director of the film, interviewing the supposed real psychologist, whom this is the center of the
Whose
story.
names have been changed to
Yeah, everyone's
protect
names have been changed
everything.
and all that. So it's set up very sort of doc style, and there's the split screen to sort of show you real versus reenactment, to mirror or to compare, contrast and compare. So the other thing going on in this movie, there's like the mystery of the plot, and there's also the mystery for the viewer of, am I buying this? Do I really believe this
True,
is a
and
real
in no
thing?
way am I here, and I'm sure you're not, to say whether we believe or not. This is just about the movie itself.
Yeah, well, we're not going to say whether we don't have to talk about whether we personally believe
So
that
it's not-
aliens exist, but we can talk
That's
about whether
right.
we believed the movie if we thought that was it.
That's
In the
different.
way that it displayed it, did we believe
That's
it?
right.
So, what did you think?
Campy.
I love it when she pauses.
It was campy. It was cheesy. The actual footage of the film was poor in my idea.
The
I
supposed
find it-
real footage or the
the
whole
real
everything?
footage.
Okay.
I found it very almost handheld, cammy like, almost like the Blair Witch where everything moves.
And you don't like
And
that?
I don't like that.
But did it make you feel like could have been real footage?
No.
It still seemed
No,
cheesy.
it was
seemed like
cheesy.
fake real footage?
Yes, and I found the acting to be below par.
The actors and also the actors playing the supposed real people?
Yes, it was below par. It was not what I would have expected. There were no large names in this movie, as far as I was concerned.
Oh, no.
And
Mila Jovovich.
Jovovich.
Is
the
named the only
main
star
character.
really, and she plays the psychologist.
And
But that's good in a way because they were trying to convey a more of a realism. So if it had starred,
Yes.
Angelina Jolie, you would have been too like, okay, this is just so Hollywood.
that's true too. That's true too. But
But the acting wasn't good enough.
it was not good enough. It was not good enough.
So I'm getting the
I'm
sense.
with you on that one.
Your answer to the question is you did not buy that this was something that was real.
No, that's not true at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe or disbelieve until it happens to me.
Right.
I don't believe I have a right to judge or
No, right.
say. And to anyone out there who believes this,
Believes in general.
Yeah, believes in general of any of these dealings.
We're not
Would
judging
you
that.
like this movie? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it would pique your interest more or make you go, now they're making a joke of it.
Yeah, it could almost be considered insulting.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Because they're taking it very seriously, but because of the cheesy factor,
It
it's
takes
almost,
away from it.
It's
It
almost
takes
a
away
bit
from it.
satirical in a way borderline.
Yes,
I
I think
see what
so
you mean.
too.
So you don't want to pass judgment on in general if this could have happened in Nome,
That's right.
Alaska.
That's
but
right.
the actual footage that they were supposedly saying this is the real psychologist and the footage of her real sessions, did you believe that was real footage and that was the real psychologist?
Wow.
Because this is the main question. For
Yes.
this. And, you can read reviews and whatever and look on the internet. It's really hard to find out. I mean, you can Google this psychologist's name and there's little snippets of something.
But nothing true.
But you can't
Nothing
really
big.
tell. You can't find enough information to be like, oh my God, this really happened.
That's right.
But you also can't find enough to say that it
didn't happen.
Yeah.
I agree. I would have to just sit on the fence on that one.
Right.
I like you said, I Googled too, and I couldn't find enough to.
We want to know.
We're Googlies.
We need to
We
know.
are the
facts.
Inquirer. We
Yeah.
are. We are. I couldn't find, as you say, enough to even. So I'm like,
But you would have think if this was a real story and this was a real person, you would have found more stuff.
I would
don't
have
you
thought
think?
so.
Yeah.
I would have thought so.
So it's a little, I think it's suspicious in this day and age when you can access any kind of information.
To not find it.
That a supposed real psychologist and all of this. But then you could get into the whole cover-up situation. Conspiracy theorists could say that this stuff has been buried.
And I believe a lot is.
Yeah, I mean, they say in the film that the
Sure.
FBI has been very interested in this
Sure.
Nome, Alaska. They've
Sure.
been there a lot. And so we all know, FBI and whatnot. It made me think of the X-Files a lot in
That's
terms
true.
of, what do you believe and what gets covered up and all that sort of thing.
Well, in this world, too much gets covered up, unfortunately. Yeah. And as I say, I couldn't find it on Google, so I'm on the fence. How about you?
Well, I agree with most of everything you said. The film had a certain part. I was intrigued in a way. I mean, it was like a mystery,
Yes.
and you want to know what happened, and you want to see what comes to light when she's dealing with the patients. I found that interesting. The way that it was acted and some of the way it was shot was too heavy-handed, and so it took you out of it a little bit.
Yes, people were laughing in the theater.
There was a bit of laughing, but then there were some scenes I found very effective. There was some footage of supposed real footage of when patients were under hypnosis, and then they it's almost like a possession. The scenes when they're sort of possessed, and the film cuts out, and you hear this very scary kind of voice, and there are these very disturbing images. And there were a few parts I jumped at a few.
Oh,
parts.
she jumped well. Yes, she did.
I'm a bit of a jumpy person, and it's not because I believed what I was looking at was real, but it was just well handled. It was
Really?
There's a few shots and sounds that were disturbing.
And that was the real tape split
Supposedly,
again.
right.
Split again, and you can see both reactions.
Right. And so there were some moments where I was questioning a bit what I was seeing.
Yes.
There were moments that were handled well.
Yes.
But as a whole, I think it was an interesting experiment. I can appreciate the attempt by the filmmaker.
Yes.
And the whole studio.
Yes.
The way
And the idea was really
the way they've handled everything, like really tried to present it as real and all that. I can appreciate that because, again, in this day and age, it's pretty hard. We're savvy audiences and the internet.
We're Googling.
It's hard to pull that off. So the fact that we're even having the conversation, I think you should give them credit.
Yes.
If it's BS and they made it all up, then that kind of pisses me off because you shouldn't put on a poster based on true story if it really isn't. Like then, to me, that crosses a bit of a line.
Yes.
But that's another
too,
issue.
yeah.
That's another Hollywood kind of marketing morality issue, which I don't want to go too far down that road. Mm-hmm. But I think it was interesting. Ultimately, a bit cheesy, a bit heavy-handed. I would recommend it to people who are interested in this general
If you're interested
topic.
in this, yes, but please understand. It might make you upset that it's a joke.
You might feel
I
that
really
it's
do
joke.
believe
Yeah, that's
that
true.
if you believe this, that would be
Yes.
a joke.
And if you're cynical about stuff like this, then again you'll probably find it a bit of a joke because it is trying to take it seriously, maybe too seriously, and so you might just end up
go with an
scoffing
open
at
mind.
it.
Just go
So
with an open mind.
go for just exactly with an open mind. Maybe rent it. It's come out very shortly after Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm.
Paranormal Activity has stolen a lot of its buzz. So this film, and it's not that it's the same thing, but it's a similar kind of thing where you have to suspend your disbelief and you have to give yourself over to the style that the filmmaker decided to take. So yeah, I think open mind is a really good way to put it.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you might just want to give it a pass.
It doesn't scream rental.
It doesn't scream,
but it is
rental.
a rental movie.
Yeah, but if you're curious and you like to have these kind of discussions, then take a friend.
Go. Take a friend and then talk about it because, you know what? It's interesting if nothing else. The concept of what it is interesting.
Yeah, whether it's a good movie or not, it's there's some elements there that are different, and that's always a good thing.
Absolutely. Different is good.
especially here on Gab and Guest.
Like it.
Thanks for watching.